Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima and I'm here checking out the Treasures of Montezuma 4. And despite that name, it is the third? Yeah, it's the third. Actually, God, imagine if it was actually the fourth, but not by any fault of its own. But yeah, this is the third Treasures of Montezuma game that actually showed up on Vita. The second was Treasures of Montezuma Arena, which I never actually got to check out. Well, I did, actually, now that I think about it. I might be able to get that working again, but that's outside the scope of this video. The first one was Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, which I really liked. And now we have Treasures of Montezuma 4. So we'll just go have a quick look around real quick. We do have an options menu, and we can see our apparent high score against everybody against the world. I don't know where this high score is coming from. Maybe it's from just the typical get score screen. But yeah, as we can see, I am not even close to matching up to the current people right now, and there's a good reason for that. We'll get onto that shortly. We do have stats. You can see that I've been playing for about 2 hours-ish. Close enough. There's your typical help screen. The funny thing about this help screen is that it tells you can use the L and R buttons to get through this faster at the very end, when you wouldn't know this, and you wouldn't need to know this after you're at the end. It's a bit silly. Your options here, just sound and music on and off, which is a little bit silly, but okay. You can have the tutorial on, you can have auto hint on, which is like it shows you where you can move your match 3 pieces just automatically instead of having to press the button. And there's the credit screen as well. You can come here to check out your ziggurat, but the thing is I haven't actually gotten enough money to upgrade these yet, because when you've got the money, you want to be upgrading your actual pickups. But yeah. I don't know why you have to upgrade these, but I imagine it's just some sort of post-game thing. Because there is actually some post-game content in this one, funnily enough. You can tap this one here to view the intro video, but there is nothing else like this throughout the game, so I'm just going to skip to the end of it. And if you tap this one, this is like one of the only games I could think of that actually prompts you to go and rate the game on the store. But, to be fair, after playing it, I might actually go and rate it 5 stars. Maybe that's a bit much, but you'll understand why once we get into it. If you saw my video on Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, if I was smart and put that one up before this one, you'll understand why I actually like this one. But, well, let's just get into it. So we have 3 modes here. Unfortunately, this mode here is locked until you beat the story mode, which is unfortunate. So we'll go have a look at the story mode first, and we'll come and have a look at the puzzle mode later, because of course. The loading times aren't great. I mean, they're pretty short when they come up, but there's a lot of them, so that's kind of annoying. So you have 7 statues here, and you have to beat all the levels on each statue in order to get to the next statue. And in the 2 hours that I've been playing, I've gone through 3 of 7 statues, and then there's all the quest stuff. Then there's these little things here that try to tell you the story, but frankly it's pointless, so there's really no point talking about it. So if we tap on one, we'll go and do his challenge. And the first challenge is great, because it just gets scores. But before we do that, we'll go and have a look at what's in the shop. If you remember my video on Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, you'll remember that you could buy all the different bonuses, but you couldn't actually equip them all at once. In this game, you can, and it does, just automatically. So you have a bunch of different bonuses here. You've got things like extra time, score frenzy, multipliers, extra gems, lightning and color match, and yep, this is all stuff from the previous game, and all the totems are represented here too, just slightly different effects, and you can both buy and upgrade them, and they work the same way as they do in the previous game, where you have to match the same color twice as the totem in order to get them to have any effect, which is cool, because yeah, it's a neat idea because it lets you strategize on what you plan to do next, which is neat. So yeah, I've just bought an upgrade, and unfortunately I don't have any money for any other upgrades, so we'll just hop straight into the level, let it load up, and we'll be able to start playing. If you watched my video on Blitz, this will be very similar, but there's also a couple of different things as well. So the way this game works is that there's no, like, hard time limit. I mean, there is a hard time limit, but it's really long. The idea is that you have to try and finish the levels as fast as humanly possible. And the faster you finish the levels, the better medal score you'll get. You can see up there that there's 43 seconds left on the clock. That's just for the gold time. If I want to get the silver time or the bronze time, it'll count back to them once the gold timer and silver timer respectively have run out. So you can keep playing and you can have fun and you can just relax and not worry about your time limit, because you can just, well, you'll be fine, basically. I mean, you don't have to worry about it because the game is actually rather forgiving, because all you need to do to pass a level is get bronze, right? So you don't really need to worry about, like, not having the scores and stuff that you need, right? So, yeah, it's the same basic concept as Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, where you just have to match all the gems by using the touchscreen. There's no button controls, which, to be fair, in a game like this, where you want to be moving as quickly as possible, it makes sense because it's way, way faster to use your hello. It's way, way faster to use your fingers than to use the D-pad. Trust me on that one. So, the game's performance isn't great, honestly. They kind of went backwards from Treasures of Montezuma Arena. It's a little bit disappointing, actually, just seeing that that game ran so well, and this game is so similar, and yet for some reason it just dies whenever the effects really start rolling in. It's a bit of a disappointment, really. I would have liked to have seen that go a bit differently, but I guess that wasn't going to happen, huh? Oh well. So, everything still moves satisfyingly, though. The controls are fine. They're a little bit looser than Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, but thankfully you do have the option not only you know, doing your typical slide motion, but you can tap and then tap again if you want to be really precise about things. So that works fine for the most part. I got no real problems with this. It is perfectly workable. The annoying thing about the score levels is that unless you build up an absolute ton of, like, score multipliers, for example, it is actually really hard to get the level done really quickly. There's actually an expert mode, and that's what I'm on right now. There is a beginner mode, which makes things easier. But yeah, I'm playing on the expert mode right now, so it's a bit difficult. And maybe that's just because I'm playing on the expert mode, and they expect you to know how to get to the score frenzy mode as fast as humanly possible. I'm probably going to run out of time here. They expect you to get to the score frenzy mode as fast as humanly possible, right? So that makes some sort of sense. The sounds are a little bit disappointing as well, just because the amount of sounds and the amount of crap that went on in Montezuma Arena just made the whole thing way more satisfying. I guess in this game it's not as much of a rush, and admittedly those sounds could get a bit annoying after a while, but at the same time you could just turn them off. So it's just a little bit disappointing. I mean, it's not game breaking by any stretch of the imagination. It's just a little bit disappointing that it's happening. But I'm willing to live with it because this game actually has an absolute ton of content. So the thing about this is I'm gonna just, like, lose my shit here, aren't I? Yep, 10 seconds left. And you can do chains and stuff while gems are still floating in the air after you break the first one, which is nice. So yeah, as you can see, time's run out, and well, I'm not going to get a bronze on this, but at least I get to continue playing, which is kind of nice. You can quick restart in the menu, which is something I probably would have done already if I was aiming to get extra progress in, but then again, if I play these games too hard too fast, I'll just tire myself out. That's just the rule of things, really. And besides, it's nice just to sit back and relax a little, you know? But yeah, I probably could have done totem usage better for that one, because, yeah, I probably could have done totem usage better. You don't get any experience for not successfully beating a level, but you do get to move on to the next one, which is nice. We get to see a new game type. The game actually has 8 separate game types that don't include the score one, which is really nice, because I like how these sorts of games need to innovate in order to actually be interesting. And this mode's actually very familiar, because this mode's probably like the, yeah, this mode's like the one in the Bejeweled Quest mode, where you have to find, like, the things that are hidden underneath the sand. You have to uncover them all in a very short amount of time. And yeah, there's a bunch of other modes as well, obviously. Like there's frogs flying around the screen that you need to get your hands on. And there's a mode where you have to get as much fire as possible by matching the gems that are on fire. And okay, yeah, this is definitely where one of the pieces are by the looks of things. Nope. Hang on. I just gotta try and get this. Oop, yep, there's one there. Right, found one, so I need to find the other one. And it looks like they're actually really small bastards this time. Alright, so at least I can be guaranteed it's not over on that side. Let's try focusing on the other side. Thankfully, you can shuffle anytime you want, and the game does shuffle when you're out of moves. So, that's, you know, I mean, obviously you come to expect that, but, you know, it's there if you need it. Where the hell is this thing? It's probably shown up just like in a single piece or something, and I've just completely missed it. Ah, there it was. Alright, so yeah, I got that level finished really quick, so I get the gold medal, which gives me a bunch of experience, a bunch of money, and I also keep unlocking stuff. You unlock new levels of stuff as time goes on, and by levels of stuff, I mean power-ups and stuff like that. And you also unlock things to do in the puzzle mode, and I'll explain what the puzzle mode is after this level, because, yeah. So this keeps going on. So you have a bunch of different statues that have heaps of like levels and stuff to do, and you can go back and try and get the levels more complete, like gold medal, the stuff for trophies and such. So there's a fair amount of content here, and then there's that quest mode, which I have no idea what that is, but considering you have to finish the story mode to get to it, that means it's just more content, which is nice. Yeah, really not doing too well on the score ones. The score ones are the ones where you really need to pull out all the stops and try and figure out what colors you can match twice in a row so that you can get the bonuses that come from them. Unfortunately, chained ones don't actually give you totem activations, but oh well. Is there an orange one I can make here now? No, there's not, but I can make a gold, and can I make another gold? No, I can't. But I can get another orange one, but now I can't make another orange one. God damn it. This is silly. My dog's gonna start barking any second now, because that's just what she does. Don't worry about her. She's fine. She just likes to have friends. Hello, Sally. That's her name. Alright. Okay, now we match the white and... Yes, the white. Now we match the orange and score frenzy time. Because, yep, that's the thing that happens in this game, too. It's still fun and satisfying to play through something like this. Score Frenzy actually gives you an absolute ton of points this game. It multiplies your base score for everything by, like, 5. So, definitely the best way to get points in this game, at least early on, before you have all the totems and all the things upgraded and stuff like that, is to get Score Frenzy as fast as humanly possible and then just ride the wind. And, you know, I just hope you've done that right. That was a ridiculous match right there. Just a freaking square. No, apparently Sally isn't going to be that upset anymore. She's an old dog, but we love her. Well, I'm really not doing too well today, am I? Well, you know what they always say as soon as it goes on camera, and I'm pretty sure I said that in the last video I did on this series too, which was, you know, like 10 minutes ago in my time, but who knows when you'll be seeing this one. I really can't guarantee when videos go up these days if they're not, like, brand new releases, so It's always interesting to see just how I handle my own bloody release schedule. I'm a little bit disappointed that many people didn't actually watch my Powerful Pro Baseball video, GQ Powerful Pro Yakyu. Yeah, that was a little bit disappointing because I really did love that game. I put a lot of time into it, and well, it just didn't work out for the views. So yep, just getting in what matches I can, because I can't really see. Damn, 516,000, and that's just when it goes to freaking infinite overtime. You suck, you don't get any medals. That sucks for me. But oh well, we've done that, so now I can go back and show you some of the alternate modes via the puzzle. But yeah, you got a lot of content to do in the single player content, which is nice. Well, there is only the single player content, but you've got a lot of stuff to do here, and then you've got a lot of stuff to do in the quest mode. So you've got a fair amount of content to go through here, because this game's $5. $5 for this is just, even for just that story mode, is a steal. But wait until you see what they've done for the puzzle mode, basically. Wait until you see what they've done here. So what happens here is what happens, brain, work with me here, is that the idea is that whenever you start up a puzzle here, it starts at the easiest level, and then you can play the next level, and it'll play a harder version of the same level, and it'll keep doing that until you find that you just can't get through it in the time you've been given anymore. Which is a neat thing, because it means it gives you, well, not so much infinite content, but you've always got something to do, right? Unfortunately, I've been given a really bad rap here, because, yeah, I haven't been given a good way to match this all. Let's shuffle and try this again. So I have to... The idea is you have to get the spring water to the flower, and to do that, you have to match gems in its path. And I appear to be having really bad luck in getting matches just in that one area, so that's really unfortunate. Like, if you match outside of the general path, it'll tell you where the rest of the current path is, which is nice, but I would appreciate it if I could actually just get a goddamn match going in there. There we go. Bit of a frustrating mode, this one. It does share that sort of thing with most of the other Bejeweled match 3 style games, where, you know, if you don't have good luck, then you're probably screwed, just because of the way the generation in these games works. But, you know, how all the pieces are set out and all that, right? Then again, when you start upgrading your pieces, when you start upgrading your totems and your bonuses, they will become extraordinarily powerful by the end of the game. So you can have a good time trying to get that to work. Let's shuffle this shit. Okay, so I can do this now. And I have an absolute ton of the path open now, but I just need to open up the rest. There we go. That should do it. In this mode, you can run out of time, by the way. So, yeah. That's spring mode. I'll go back and I'll show another one. But yeah, you do earn points for your experience bar and coins as well. You don't actually have anything to do with the, You don't actually have anything to do with the actual XP levels. I don't think it unlocks anything. Because, yeah, just nothing seems to happen. I think it's all relevant on what level you're up to in the story mode for the most part. Alright, so here's how gold mode works, or slot machine, or whatever the bloody hell they call it works. So the idea is that you've got these gold pieces, you have to get them down to the bottom, and depending on which little thing here you land them in, you get that amount of gold. So, yeah, we need to get 20 gold, and there's 4, 6, 12, and 8 down the bottom there. And we need to try and get... Damn, if only I could have had that in, like, the column over the side there. There we go, that's one down. Of course, there's still stuffers from all the old, you know, just traditional things that most match 3s do, but I mean, it's a match 3, so if you like match 3s, this is definitely a good match 3. It's got lots of modes, it's got a lot of story content, it's got all sorts of stuff to keep you busy, and it only costs $5. And one other thing I want to point out about it too is that the demo is actually really generous. It lets you through the entirety of the first half of the story levels, which will get you not the majority of power-ups, but it'll let you see how a few of them work at the very least. And not to mention the it actually does unlock like the puzzle modes. So that, I mean, you only run across 2 of them in the first world, but it does let you play them. So that's a neat thing in and of itself, right? Just being able to do that. And we finished that with 12 seconds to spare. I won't do another one, but I will explain what they are, at least the ones I've unlocked. We saw archaeology, because we hadn't been up to it yet in the main story mode. Catch the frog, you have frogs that hop across the individual squares. And ice is you have to match the blocks twice, and then they disappear, and then you have to match those ones in order to get that to work. Notably, the fire one isn't actually in here, which is interesting. That means there's even more than 8 modes. It's like 10 at the very least. But yeah, that was a look at Treasures of Montezuma 4. Better late than never, but I did look at it eventually, and it's $5, and if you miss Treasures of Montezuma Blitz, it's basically got that. Because it's the same people doing the same series. So there you go. I would recommend it at that price, and even if you don't want to do that, go play the demo. The demo will let you play the entire first story level, some of the puzzles, and then you can decide to buy it, and you won't even have to re-download the game again. You'll just have to download like a 100 kilobyte thing, and then bam, you can play the full game. So yeah, this has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.